If you took a bucket, filled it with food from your fridge, and then threw it all straight in the bin without even eating it or anything, just throwing it straight in the bin, how would you feel? I think you'd feel very guilty about that. I think you'd feel very bad because you know that there are people in other countries who, they don't have as much food as you, they're not as lucky as you, and that's a massive waste. Now, if you took that same bucket and you filled it up with tap water and you just threw it down the drain, how would you feel about that? I don't think you'll feel guilty at all. And if you do feel guilty, definitely not as much as the food. It doesn't seem like that much of a big deal because, it's only water. Water comes out of the tap, right? No, not right. A lot of work goes into treating drinking water, and this is what my project's all about. I'm a PhD student with the University of Sheffield, and I'm also on a placement with Anglian Water, a water company that treat water in the east of the UK. My project is all about the treatment of drinking water and all the work that goes into it. So we use lots of processes to treat drinking water, but we also use lots of chemicals. You might know some of these chemicals. For instance, chlorine, which is the same chlorine that's used to treat swimming pool water, although in much lower concentrations. And then we've got other chemicals which might not necessarily treat the drinking water, but they do help people. So for instance, sometimes fluoride is added to the water to help protect people's teeth against tooth decay. So although it doesn't treat the drinking water, it does help the people drinking it in some way. Now, my PhD project is looking at each of these chemicals in turn and seeing if we can maybe reduce the dose of them, with potentially even in the future in the UK, would we be able to go completely chemical free in our drinking water treatment? This is really important because some of the chemicals we use can be really expensive. Some of them are running out in future, which again makes them really expensive. But also we're wasting a lot of these chemicals. So we're using a lot of chemicals to treat drinking water. But that drinking water is then being used to do things like run people's washing machines, wash people's cars. We even use drinking water quality water in toilets to make toilets work. So one thing I'm really passionate about during my PhD is trying to teach people about the value of drinking water, because you might be wasting that glass of water when you fill it up and you throw it away, but actually you're not just wasting water like from rain. You're actually wasting a lot of people's time, a lot of people's effort, a lot of people's money. You're wasting chemicals, and you're actually harming the environment with each little drop that you're throwing away.
Created using Powtoon.